Okay, that's commodities, but staying with that space, the big crunch has come on gold as also for the impact on many of these listed companies. Ketan Kothari of Riddhi Siddhi Bullion joins in to talk about that. Ketan, hi, good morning. Could you start off by setting some kind of backdrop on what exactly has happened with regards to trading on gold imports, whether that has come to a halt and whether there are any financing issues building in that part of the market now?
Hi, good morning, Mitali. Actually, let me go through the dynamics of the gold imports. What used to happen earlier was gold was imported on consignment basis, and banks and all the nominated agencies who had the license to import gold used to keep tons of gold on the Indian shores, the ownership of which belonged to the exporters. And as and when there was demand in the local market, that gold was priced and supplied in the local market. However, with the recent ban on the consignment of gold, what has happened is they have introduced a new rule, which is documents against payment, which means you have to import the gold first and make the payment, and only then the documents will be released for you to take the gold into your custody. This means that the cost of gold and the cost of funds which are required to buy gold has gone up tremendously. Earlier, the jewelry firms used to take finance on gold, which is available in international market. The gold loan is available at around 2.5%, and in Indian market around 5.5%. But unfortunately, because of the new rules, what will happen is the cost of funds will go up almost to like 13 to 14%. So that's actually changed the dynamics of the whole industry in terms of the bottom line, because obviously the cost of funds have gone up.
Morning, Ketan. So, do you see this as a temporary lull to gold imports, or do you think these companies or gold jewelry makers will find a way around dealing with the current financing issues?
Morning, Udayan. I think this is not really a very short-term temporary lull in the imports. What will happen is people will try and understand how exactly gold needs to be imported. But only that much gold which is required for immediate demand will be imported into the country, which means that the excess gold which was easily available for the domestic consumption will not be available. The jeweler firms will somehow procure their raw materials, obviously, because gold is still not banned. So it will be imported, but what will happen is the cost of funds will go up for them. And depending upon how much of this cost is passed on to the customer, it will impact the jeweler to a big extent.
We've been hearing anecdotal reports that in the month of June, the gold import situation has diminished radically. Is the evidence of the entire month that, or have you seen any pickup towards the last few days that gold imports are starting again?
Actually, then this particular period of June, July is a monsoon period, and historically the demand has been slack as well. But obviously it is also compounded with the different changes in the law that is coming in, and plus what has happened is the price correction in gold had happened in the last quarter. So whatever pent-up demand was there for the price correction, that has already taken place. So obviously there is a slowdown in the demand, but there are various reasons, and obviously the change in the policy is one of the reasons. And we see that the demand for gold will come down in this particular quarter, and let's see what's there for the next quarter.
What about retail purchases via some of these gems and jewelry companies, Ketan? Because the last time we touched base with them, when gold first cracked, the observation was that retail had come back in a rush to buy gold. Has that happened through the course of the last month or so, or do you think some of these gems and jewelry companies are suffering on account of what's happened with gold prices?
At the retail level, what happens is whenever there is a major price correction, there is a huge rush to buy gold, which is what happened in the last quarter. If you see thereafter the import duty has gone up, the prices have also stabilized. So, and also this is not a period, this is not a festive season, or this is not even a marriage season. So obviously the demand also is low from that end, and this continues. This will continue during the monsoon period at the retail level.
How high was interest in gold ETFs through the course of this big rally in gold, Ketan? I mean, do you expect to see big redemption problems over there, or was interest not that high to start off with?
Mitali, actually gold ETF is a very small portion of the overall Indian domestic market, and even though there is a rule whereby 20% of the gold can be leased out in the market, there is still not clarity with the ETF companies. I think that will help to an extent whereby they would be able to lease out some of the gold in the market. As far as the ETF demand is concerned, again this is price sensitive. When the prices had corrected, there was a good demand, but now it's stabilized, and there is a very stable trading that is happening in ETF, and not much demand from that side as well.
What's your own gut feel, Ketan? Once the monsoon months are over, do you see gold imports picking up again, or because some policymakers are getting hopeful that the trend of June can be extrapolated for the rest of the year?
Udayan, actually it will all depend upon the international prices, because how much ever control we have on gold, we cannot have any control over the international prices. So say for example, if there is a major correction in the international prices, there is a possibility that again during the Diwali season there will be a pent-up demand which will come in, and there will be larger imports, because by then the policies will have stabilized, by then people will have a clarity on how exactly to import gold. So it all really depends upon the international prices. What could help the Indian market is if there is any policy whereby the local gold is brought back into circulation for making of bars and supplying it to the jewelers. It will help in a big extent. This will help control the CAD and also meet the local demand for gold consumption.
Thanks for joining in today, Ketan, with that view. That's the country's largest gold dealer, probably, Riddhi Siddhi Bullion. To the stock market then. Flat for the Nifty now.